Welcome to Korea's fifth largest island, also known as Namhae Island. I joined a tour found on Instagram and I was able to go on this wonderful tour with them where we visited Namhae for 2 days and one night. We started off at the German village where there's a lot of history here. Based off on what I was told, this German village was basically created in the past by nurses who fought in the World War, and when they came back to Korea, when they returned, they created a little community for themselves, and since then this community has been thriving. The views are amazing. It reminds me a bit of Germany, and they've kind of made it that way. I briefly visited Germany during Oktoberfest, but I'm not the expert on it, so please do not count whatever I say towards this being Germany. But I love the vibes. It was very welcoming. They had Bratwurst here with a Korean twist, curry Bratwurst. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry, Germans, if that's not how you pronounce it. However, I had such a good time. The curry Bratwurst really was okay. It tasted more like tomato stew. So after we explored the village, we walked around a bit, just took some pictures. I got to have some pretzels. In this case here was a chocolate cinnamon pretzel. This is so good. Cinnamon chocolate pretzel. The pretzel was actually really tasty. So after having the bratwurst and the pretzel, our next stop was lunch. This was day one, by the way, day one itinerary. So we took we took a scenic ride, but let me say this, everywhere in Namhae is a scenic ride, okay? Because it's just surrounded by the ocean, blue water, and it's very beautiful. Mountains and ocean, beautiful. So this was our next stop, which is basically the location where we were going to be staying, but this is where we had our lunch on day one, which was a buffet style lunch that was provided. And as you can tell, the building straight ahead of you, not the brown one, the white one we just passed, was where we're going to actually be sleeping. The brown one was where we're going to eat our food, our lunch, and this is just the area, the stream, and just a little sightseeing of the location. Literally right next to it was a beach that was about 5 minutes away. I ate the buffet and it was amazing. I went for seconds. Right, so we finally made it to the village we're going to be staying in tonight, and this is where we just had lunch. That's the background. We're going to be staying over in that building over there, the one not in my head. So lunch was amazing. I had 2 servings and I felt great. But anyways, Namhae is beautiful, guys. If you can make it down here, so if you ever come to South Korea, don't just stay in Seoul. If you can get a car, rent a car, you're gonna explore so much more. After any meal, Koreans have this really good habit of going on a walk, and this was what we're going to do. But first, we had an experience we had to cover, which was making Korean citron gangjong, which is basically rice cereal crackers mixed with sugar, some oil, and citron, and then just like fried in a pan. As you can tell, the lady explains everything to us, and then she's already prepped everything, and then we just had to go through the steps she'd written down, and it came out. We're supposed to ship them up, but we really struggled with the shaping. The people who got it right were mostly the Koreans who were in our group. All the foreigners were really struggling, but that's fine. We packeted them, and that was going to be our snack for our next activity, which was hiking Boriam Temple, as you will see. after doing the best we can, we went to go hike Boriam Temple, which is one of the biggest temples in the south. And this was beautiful. But let's not talk about the walk to get there. So we drove all the way to the place where you had to get the ticket because our vehicle was small. So if we had a bigger bus, I don't think we would have driven how far, like the farthest we did whenever we came up here. But anyways, after you park your car, you have to walk for about 20 minutes, and then once you do, you get to a set of stairs where you go downstairs and then you see the temple. There's a lot of scenic sites on the way, and it was quite beautiful to stop and take pictures. We finally made it to the temple. It was nice. They tell everyone to really keep quiet because people are using the temple. Sometimes you still have some monks that actually live there and assist with random tasks ever so often. And also sometimes people are praying, so they tell people to keep it really, really down. Most of us in the tour ended up at the temple and really did not want to go any further than that because after the stairs, we were just tired and climbing up the hill. But you had some people who kept going up to the top of the mountain, which is really your choice. They said it was a bit difficult. South Korea doesn't do long distances, but the hills are quite difficult. So if you're someone who is considering coming up here, just keep that in mind, or going all the way to the top. So keep that in mind. We had about 2 hours to explore the area, and we were done within 1 hour, and we were just ready to head back because it was also cold. So after our tour and sitting down and resting, we decided to head back when we had about 30 minutes spare, and we headed back all the way down to the car to go wait for our driver. On the way back, it was quite challenging because the stairs that we came down on, we had to climb back the stairs. It's just one route in and out of the temple, and it was very, very challenging having to figure that out and just climb up and make the best out of things. But we managed to do it, and then we ended up going for dinner, and dinner was really the highlight. We had some fish stew and some banchan, which are side dishes in Korea. Those come for free. The fish stew is the main dish and what you're paying for. Each of those bowls had about 4 fishes. And right next to our restaurant was Namhae Bridge, which is similar to the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. Anyways, fast forward to the next day. We woke up bright and early, and none of us really wanted to get breakfast because we were tired from the day before. We drove around. Again, a lot of scenic roads. Just the views are amazing. The water is so blue. The roads are so clean. The mountains are just like beautiful. And we were headed to our first destination for the day. Now, even though we had a tour guide, our schedule was very flexible, and our first stop on day 2 was Darengi village. Darengi means steps in South Korea, from what I was told, and that is because this village is basically one of the villages in the coastal region that do a lot of farming and agriculture, and this farming and agriculture is basically built in the form of steps. The village is also popular for growing spinach and citron, and so that's exactly what we came to come and see, take pictures, and just explore the village. And so we walked around throughout the village, looked at it. It was beautiful, and we were able to take lots of pictures, lots of videos, and actually get a good hike in, which I considered my workout for the day. walking around for so long and getting the workout in, we decided to stop for lunch, and we came to this seafood restaurant that does fried fish and a lot of banchan on the sides. Again, pretty amazing. Highly recommended for people who've never been. And then our next stop was to go make some soap at the Namhae Cultural Center, which is a building that has about 3 floors. After making the soap, we decided to explore the building, which was a building that had multiple things going on. The floor right above it was the museum exhibition floor, and then on the 3rd floor was the library, where I ended up making a bookmark for myself. It was pretty exciting. Yeah, those are the things that excite me because I love reading. But at the top was a rooftop which had panoramic views and beautiful rooftop views of the bridge, and that's exactly what I did. I stood there, enjoyed the views, and took some pictures. Now, for the last stop of the day, our tour guide added this very last minute, and everyone on the tour was very flexible and agreed to come, which was one of the cable rides that we're gonna get up the mountain just to view the area and watch the sunset. And you came in, the one-way ticket is about 10,000 won, and if you buy that with your return ticket is 20,000 won. So we were all excited. We came in. There's also a skywalk you can walk, which is glass. When you're buying the ticket, there's the option to get the standard or the premium cable, which the only difference is that the premium cable has glass on the floor, and so you can see the bottom. And this was us in our standard cube, or standard capsule rather, and we climbed up the mountain and we got to experience one of the most beautiful sunsets ever. But anyways, this was my experience in Namhae Island. Please, if you do come to Korea, do not hesitate to reach out, find tour guides, or if you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. But thank you for watching. Please follow, like, subscribe, and even share if you enjoyed this. Thank you. Bye.